you're in a band. By the time you record this stuff and you produce it and you mix it and everything else, the last thing you want to do is actually hear it ever again.
Yeah, it's true. I know. I try to explain that to people.
No.
They're like, yo, dude, you're on radio. You could play Hangman's Cry every show if you wanted to. I'm like, I don't want to be honest.
But I do.
I do it once in a while, but
There
I'm
we
not
go.
here to
That's a
promote
little better.
Hangman's Cry. I'm here to do a radio show.
I don't
Yes.
care.
They're not even playing anymore, so what am I promoting?
Yeah, they're not, are they?
So it's like, what am I promoting?
Come see my band. It's not playing anymore.
Wow.
Buy our album that's been out for 7 years now. I got so many boxes of them at home.
It is. It just it totally sucks too, because by the time you actually like you have to go through the recording process, which is a little tedious,
Yeah.
and then you have to go through the mixing process. And if anybody's ever been through a mixing process, everyone knows that nobody is ever happy with anything, and it will take like that's the majority of what it takes. Like actually recording it only takes like a couple hours. It's the mix down that is ridiculous. Like nobody's ever happy. It's kind of like, yo man, the snare had just a little too much 5K on it.
Hey, dude, I can hear it, man. That last track, I got a little bit of fuzzies on my E string. I don't know, maybe the fuzz ball was going in the air and it landed
you
on my
record a
string.
song.
But
So you took an hour to record the song.
mhm.
You took 2 months to mix it down. And by the time it actually gets to mastering,
You're not happy with
press, and all the other things,
You're not happy with
you get it back, and it's like, I don't ever want to hear these songs again.
I was very unhappy with the album that came out. I wasn't happy with it, but they say a lot of musicians ain't happy
No.
with the product you put out.
I'm
I was not happy. We were that's the only thing about being under a label. We were under an independent label. Being under a label, you're pressured for time.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get this done. You're not the only artist on the label. I got 8 other artists that got to come in and record. Blah, 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 blah. So you got to
Yeah.
rush through shit. And I'm like, can I do that vocal over? No, we ain't got time.
But are they
No,
as
I'm
good
doing
as
that
we
vocal
are?
over again. Sound like shit. And you have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things we can go back on that album and fix.
Hey, listen, Quiet Riot, when they went into a studio to record "Come On," was it "Come On Feel Noise"?
Yeah.
They hated that
Oh,
song.
they hated it.
They actually went in the studio and did it as bad as possible, so they would like toss it off the album, and it turned out to be one of their biggest songs.
Yeah, because they were told if you do not cover this song, you will not have your album release.
Yep.
I guess we're gonna do this stupid song. Which, if you listen to the original version, it is a stupid song. If
Actually,
I was told you got to record this to put your album out, I'm like, are you kidding me?
part of the show that I'm going to be doing is actually we're actually going to have segments where we actually talk about like how things came to be, like the whole cherry pie thing.
Mm-hmm.
With that, like that's a terrible like. First of all, God rest Janie Lane. I mean, like he was a great vocalist, but
I don't know about vocalist.
he was
More of a better songwriter.
he was
than
an
vocalist.
amazing songwriter.
Not a great
But-
frontman though.
No,
Terrible frontman, to be honest.
but he was so flustered by the fact that he became like he hated the song that made him big.
Yeah.
And I can't wrap my head around that.
Well, it's called being I don't want to use a bad word like retard. It's kind of be I don't know what you call
And
that.
then people started referring to me as the cherry pie guy, and I was like, I'm like, dude.
Okay, dude. Did it make you rich or
you
no?
made millions.
Yeah.
I mean, you drank it all away, but it made you millions.
Yeah. That's what I don't understand about these people with the fame. It's like, oh well, he shot up every night and drank himself to death because he could not handle the fame. What the hell is that? What do you mean he couldn't handle the fame?
Everybody
the guy
can handle
killed
the
himself
fame.
because he couldn't handle it. I can see you sitting back saying, "Okay, I didn't get my album put out. That nobody signed me." I can see you being depressed about that and then start drinking or doing drugs.
I became
But
so
I'm
famous.
doing drugs now, and I'm shooting up every night because I can't handle the fame, all this money, all this girls around me, man. I can't handle it, man.
I'm so
I
famous.
just can't handle it.
Well, I understand.
It's
that's
a
whole
bunch.
girl
You know what it is? It's just an excuse. They have an addiction problem. There's something wrong. They're using that as an excuse. I don't see what any of them people. It's like back in the day, it was cool to die at 27. Hey,
Yeah.
let's be in the 27 club. Let's die. Like that idiot from the Doors. I want to die. I want to die young, man. You know, like the Who says, hope I die before I get old, man.
Dude, I'm so depressed. I am so famous, and everyone, and I just can't deal with it.
And it's funny because
everybody loves
depressed.
me. I'm rich. I'm famous.
And back to
I
the
got all these
Janie
girls
Lane
throwing
thing,
themselves
it's-
at me. I just can't handle
I
it.
know, it's so stupid. And back to what the Janie Lane thing. I didn't, to be dead honest with you, I didn't get into Warrant until I saw him with Rob Mason.
Actually, you know what?
I said, wow. I saw them with Rob Mason. I'm like, this dude's good. He's a
wrote
good
some-
front man, good singer. And then I started to listen back. Like, I listened to the album they put out with him. And then I started listening back to old Warrant that I never even gave it a time of day back in the 80s. And I started listening. I was like, actually, these guys didn't put out bad stuff, actually. They actually didn't put out bad songs.
No, actually,
They actually weren't a bad band. But I didn't know that. I would have never known that if I didn't see them with Rod Mason, because that made me go back into Warrant's history and listen back to their old stuff.
He
But if
wrote
I didn't
some-
see Rod Mason, I would have never listened to Warrant.
he wrote some really good songs. It's just, unfortunately, he had a hang up with not wanting to,
don't want to do Terry Pie anymore.
yeah.
Made me $20 million. I don't want to do it anymore.
Well, from what they said in the interviews, like every time that song came around in their set list and they had to do it live, he just instantly just took an attitude with like everyone.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, look, dude, you made millions and millions of dollars. This is your most popular song. Fucking deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm,
and
like,
that's how I am with, like I said, it ain't even my song. But I'm going to be like, okay, I'm never, ever going to perform or sing Pour Some Sugar on Me ever again in my life. I hate the song with a passion, which I do. But
I thought it was Jesse's
I,
girl.
I'm not. I do it because it works, and it's, you got to do the songs that work. You get the people up dancing, singing, and if you got to sing it over and over again 50,000 times a year, you do it.
There
Because
is
you
a-
got to do what's for the fans.
Hey, you've only ever done Jesse's girl once.
there is a list
I'm
of
not talking about
songs.
Jesse's girl.
There is a list of songs that nobody should ever do ever.
Probably half of them I already do, but yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But I don't get that. I couldn't. He couldn't handle the fame. That's a bunch of crap if I've ever heard it. Bunch of crap.
All right, here we go. 50 Rock